Another episode of the Purple Rain podcast. Another video. I mean, just another game tearing at our hearts and stomping on it and just throwing it at the wall and picking it up and hitting it with an aluminum baseball bat. But we're back with episode 85. Derek Mason, the Eric Tomlinson episode of the Purple Rain podcast. My guy Sutton,
Sir.
I just need to ask you, how are you doing? How's your heart? How are you?
Hey
You're
man, my
here.
heart is
You're
about
here.
I'm
You're
here.
here.
I'm here. And you asked about my heart. My heart is about as fragile as it can possibly be right now because Jesus Christ, man, we cannot pull away from anybody. You can't pull away from
No.
anyone. It's just like, Lamar, no Lamar. It just I don't know. I don't know. So
Yeah.
obviously we have a lot to talk about tonight, but I've been doing pretty good, man. How have you been?
I'm at the point where if somebody came behind me and jumped, I'm probably gonna just pass out alive. Like that's where my heart is. Like
Yeah.
I was sitting there screaming, like just that game yesterday. It was a show. It was a show, man. I don't want to say
Yeah.
what type of show it was, but it wasn't a good type of show. But hey, we're 7-3, and I'm gonna say it every show. If you would have sat here and told me after that one practice where Gus and Marcus Peters went down that we would be 7-3, 10 games into the season, I would say, okay, maybe we lost to the Chiefs, maybe the
Right.
Bengals, maybe another drop a game. But if you would have said 7-3, I'd have been like, I'll take it. And guess what? I'll take it. We still got some stuff to talk about. But yeah, man, like since last time we talked, so much has happened. Just with the whole Ravens roster.
So
like
much.
we missed Lamar's little injury. Well, not injury, just illness. We missed Hollywood Brown being out. We missed Anthony Avery getting hurt. Jimmy Smith wasn't playing. Brandon Williams wasn't playing. Pernell McPhee on the IR. Ben Cleveland back. There's just so much stuff that we haven't talked about. But just the game yesterday, we can talk about that if you want to.
Yeah.
Ravens Bears. Never won in Soldier Field.
Till yesterday.
Yeah.
Hey, pulled out the W just barely, as you said before we went
Ugly.
live, by the hair on our chin. Literally,
Yes.
it was ugly. It was ugly. We got to talk about it, but before we do, let's go ahead and just plug ourselves. Let us know where you can find us on social media. You can find my guy Simply AS10 on Twitter at Simply AS10. Simple as that. And on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow him. And also make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel, just Simply AS10 as well.
Thank you.
Best highlight channel on YouTube. You guys already know that, though. Also, you can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at Sutton Def. Check me out. I do a couple things here and there. Just, follow me. Hit me up. Yeah. And then also, you can make sure you follow the Purple Rain Podcast Instagram account on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast, just how it is spelled up above with a V in front of it, at the Purple Rain Podcast. So that's actually, I'm glad I actually plugged the Instagram early there, because today we made a post. Yeah, we made a post on the Instagram with like burning questions. We do the segment here after every Ravens game, burning questions. What things do you really, really want to know about the Ravens? What burning questions do you have? So we got to give a shout out to our Instagram followers who participated in that. They will definitely have their questions brought up and answered. Yes, thank you so much. Also, yeah, guys, like the video before we get into anything else as well. It helps us out a ton, helps the channel out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you are new here, because you do not want to miss some of the upcoming content.
And I also dropped a tweet on my Twitter if you want to drop any questions you have. Now, I think we'll take questions from there first and YouTube, but my Twitter, the Purple Rain Podcast Instagram, drop them there. And they'll honestly, any questions to ask, I'll probably be on here. I'm just going to be honest. So, drop them there.
Yeah, so I see a bunch of people in the live chat right now. I want to get to you guys. You guys know I love to give you guys your shout outs. But if you're not watching this live right now, you're part of the hashtag replay gang. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you leave a hashtag replay gang down below, because we love you guys just as much. And we thank you guys for coming through and watching 85, the 85th episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. Guys, real quick, one more thing. You guys know it's been a year. The Purple Rain Podcast is 1 year old. 1 year old. Yeah.
Can we not go to our first episode? Was kind of just like how the Ravens game was. It was a show of some sorts.
Yeah.
Kind of embarrassing to look back. But hey.
Yeah. We are here. 85 episodes in and strong, and 1 year in. We thank you guys so much for all the support, all the likes, all the donations, all the subscriptions, everything that you guys do for us. It's just, You guys are on fire, man, and we
Thank you.
appreciate you guys so much. But just pulling up who we have here in the live chat right now, the entire Rain Gang in full effect per usual. Coney 4 times. The first one in here says, "What's up, gang? What's up, Coney?" Darius the official, my guy in the house.
Purple Rain
Boz,
Pioneer.
Mod Boz, that is. Yeah, of
Purple
course.
Rain
Mod Boz,
Pioneer.
another Purple Rain Pioneer. Yo, Rain Gang was good, man. JB in the house. Showcase FTR. Jabari Cruz
Yo,
Ellis. What's up,
yo,
Purple Rain Gang?
yo.
What's up, Jabari? How you doing tonight? Falou in the building. What's up,
Oh,
Falou? J Prime 235. We got Travis Dial. We got Devon Johnson. We got just everybody. Everybody's in the house tonight. I see Taquan Christian in here says, "Yo, what's up,
what's
Rain
up?
Gang? Alex and Sutton. What's going on, Taquan? Appreciate you for coming through. My guy King in the building. What's up, King? How you doing? Hope everything is all good with you. Mod K Dog in the house
Purple
as
Rain
well says, "Yo,
Pioneer.
what's good, Rain Gang family?" As you know, another Purple Rain pioneer here. Zico Kage in the house. Lisa coming in with the questions as always. Lisa, hold the
Yes.
questions. Just a couple more minutes. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We got to give our initial reactions on the game, and then we'll get to all the
Yes.
questions that you
So
guys
can you
have for
guys.
us.
So
Yeah.
can you guys.
We got our guy, the Joker. The Joker in the building says, "What
What's
to
up,
do, PRP?" What's up, Joker, man? How you doing? Appreciate you for coming through. Team Ramey in the house. What's up, Team Ramey?
Yo,
D3. We got Yolanda
yo,
in here. What's up, Yolanda?
yo.
Dylan in the house. Everybody in the, oh my goodness. Zeke, just reminding everybody,
Yeah.
hit that like button before we get into any
Yeah.
football talk. We're about to get into that right now. I don't know if I shouted out my boy Exley, but he is in the
There you
building
go.
as well.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I think that covers pretty much everybody that I saw. If
Yeah.
I missed you, make sure you stick around. You know, leave your comments, your questions in the chat. You will be brought up at some point. But we appreciate you guys. But now we're gonna go ahead and get into our initial reactions to this Ravens versus Bears game that took place yesterday, 1
Bro.
p.m. CBS. Tony Romo was on the call and everything. Not really too much of like an offensive showing from either team at all, which I'm sure was
No.
very disappointing to the announcers. But you know, it was definitely kind of like a defensive struggle, you know, for the majority of the game. Neither team could really get much going on offense, but my just initial reactions, knee jerk reactions, takeaways from this game. I mean, it wasn't really the best litmus test to see how good this Ravens team is right now because we were missing two of our best players on offense. Lamar Jackson was out, obviously, and Hollywood Brown. So we're rocking
Missed our
out with
best player
Tyler
overall.
Huntley.
Our best player
Literally.
overall. Yeah.
Literally, like we're rocking out with Tyler Huntley, and we're rocking out with, you know, guys like Tylan Wallace who are stepping up and getting more reps and whatnot. And you know, I actually kind of like to see that because you know I like Tylan Wallace, but it was definitely a different look on offense. And I noticed something very very early. I knew that this offense had a lot of limitations without Lamar Jackson, and that may be obvious, but like
Yeah.
that was what worried me early on in the game. I saw we started out the game as we start every game, running the ball pretty effectively. And then we kind of get away from that a little bit and we start going towards a more pass happy attack. And that's when I started to get worried because I was kind of worried about what Tyler Huntley was going to be able to do down the stretch of the game if he was going to be able to make those plays in order to bring us home and get a W. And hey, he did it. He did it. He made the plays when he needed to get the team down the field and get just enough points. He had one job. Tyler Huntley had one job, and he got that job done. So
Yep.
big shout out to Tyler Huntley. That was just kind of like my knee jerk reaction. It wasn't a
Yeah.
good test to see how the Ravens really are right now. Maybe on defense, and we'll talk about the defense in a little bit as well. But the offense, you just didn't really see too much, which is as expected without our best player on the field. But we do have our first Super Chat donation coming
Indeed,
in
we
here for the
do.
night. Thank you so much to Travis
Thank
Dye.
you,
We
Travis.
appreciate you,
Thank
bro.
you.
Making it rain here on episode 85 of the Purple Rain podcast. Make sure you
Here
like
we
the
are.
video, subscribe if you are new. He says, "What's up, gang? Started a new job, been trying to get adjusted these last 2 months. Congratulations, starting a new job, man. It's been a while, but it feels good to catch an episode live." Yeah, man. We appreciate you for coming through. Join the Rain Gang here live. We appreciate you for coming through. Let's see.
Yeah.
We have all right, that was it for now. But let me get your knee-jerk reactions to this game, Alex. What did you think?
If anything were to happen to number 8, oh, we're screwed. Oh, we are screwed. And that's not to take anything away from Tyler Huntley. It was his first game. I had all the faith in the world in him. I mean, a lot of people didn't on social media. I mean, you're going to see that. But he did enough to win the game. And when his time came to shine, he did it. He made a throw that I didn't think he could make. He got absolutely laid out, hit Sammy Watkins. Well, I'll get a Sammy Watkins, but hit him on a 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But What I still don't know about is this run game, but what I do know is that having Nick Boyle back, I
Ooh,
actually think that we can convert short yarded situations.
talk
And
about
we
it.
saw it. I mean, we saw with Latavius. We
Yep.
saw with Devonta. Hell, we saw with Patrick Ricard. We
Yeah.
just converted short yarded situations. And we're not going to have running back one. I think we're just past that. We're past that. We don't have running back one. We have a running back by committee.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Um, and also one more thing, I don't want to say all pro Marlowe is back, but he had a stronger game yesterday, and that was really good
Mm,
to see. Just get that confidence up. But we'll talk more about it too. But that's just kind of
yeah.
my hot takeaways. But for a first start of an undrafted free agent, I'm not gonna get too mad at Huntley because we won. We won,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. Got the W, and that is definitely what is important. But I want to go back to what you were saying about the run blocking and how that
Yes.
is getting better with the addition of Nick Boyle coming back, and of course, Pat Ricard still being in the fold as well. I mean, while Nick Boyle, yes, he did have that drop on third down, and
He's not known for a pass catching tight end,
he's not, but I do feel like 2, 3 more games you give him as he gets more
Oh,
warmed up and in the football shape,
oh
he's making that
yes,
catch and he's turning up field and he's lowering his
yeah,
shoulder and he's getting more yards. He will get better. He will get better. But just in terms of what he offers in the run blocking, there was one run. I think it was a third and short, like you said, short yard situation. We handed off to Freeman and Nick Boyle just creates a clear hole, like a clear hole. It was an edge blitz towards the side of the field that we were running to. So had Nick Boyle not have picked up the block, Devontae Freeman probably gets tackled in the backfield, and we're probably punting
yeah,
on that drive. But
yeah.
Nick Boyle completely just absorbs his man, and like there's just absolutely nothing he can do at all. And it was just amazing to watch. It was amazing to watch, man. I'm so glad that Nick Boyle is back, and I can't wait to see him more in the season, man. But we do have another super chat donation coming in
Yes,
from Darius, the official. Let's go ahead and get this
there
in
is.
here. Thank you so much, Darius, making it rain here on episode 85 of
Yes.
PRP. Says this offensive line shows it's terrible even with
Oh
Lamar
my
out.
god.
Like they have
Yeah.
to step up with this tough schedule. That clutch Sammy catch though, yeah,
And I actually was watching the Chiefs Cowboys game yesterday, and there was a couple plays where our good old former left tackle, right tackle ended up on his behind. I don't even
yeah,
think if we still had him that would have fixed anything because this line is just suspect,
yeah,
very, very, very suspect, and just all around too. I don't think McCarry was 100%. I think he was rushed back, unfortunately, but he was trying to do what he could.
yeah,
Villanueva was getting worked. Ben Powers, I'm not really too happy with. I don't know what we can do at left guard. I mean, I've kind of only been happy with Bozeman and Zeitler for most of the year,
yeah,
unfortunately. And it's weird because I'm now a Villanueva fan, but he's had definitely a weak season so far. And it
yeah.
goes to show with just how many sacks we gave up yesterday. It was terrible. There was no time whatsoever.
Yeah, I definitely like what I've been seeing from Kevin Zeitler for sure. I don't know if the offensive line and also Makari being back definitely helps us too, but I don't know right now if the offensive line is in complete turmoil or if it's just that teams are kind of devising this game plan against the Ravens
Yeah.
like, hey, we're just gonna blitz, like
Yeah.
because even yesterday you saw the Bears blitz Tyler Huntley more than they blitzed like in the past like whatever however many games like in a long time, any team. It was one of
Yeah.
the highest blitz rates out of any team this season, just like we saw what the Dolphins did to us the other week. So I think it's more so like the O line kind of gets overwhelmed at times, and you saw that Tyler Huntley was actually pretty good against the blitz. I think he went like 15 for 21 against the blitz for
He
like
was audibling
126
too.
yards.
He
Yeah,
audibled one of them.
audibling.
I love that. It was a simple out route to Duvernay, and he had two blockers up the field. Like that's how you
Yeah,
beat this cover zero. I'm glad
yeah.
he learned it.
Right, and getting the ball out, and that was something that Tyler Huntley was doing. He was getting the ball out. He was going through his progressions, and like you said, that's how you beat that cover zero. You got to be locked in. You got to know where the ball is going because there's guys coming.
Hmm.
There's guys coming. You're not going to have time to really step up and step into a throw all the time. So I like what they were doing with the giving them some 3-step drops, 3-step reads, and just get the ball out quick. So we can beat that blitz. I thought that was really good. I like to see that. We do have another super chat donation. This one coming in from the Joker
Thank you, thank you,
811.
thank you,
Big,
Joker.
big shout out to him. Thank you so much, Joker. Appreciate all
Thank
of
you.
you guys for coming through,
Yes,
donating, just supporting. We love you guys. He says, I think Ben Cleveland will be taking over for Ben Powers, and Bradley Bozeman has been suspect 80% of his snaps. How have been low. I don't know why.
definitely recently his snaps have been a little suspect. I just don't know when Cleveland will take over because he's still a rookie, and
Mm-hmm.
this line is definitely intricate. I mean, just the way we have our run game and just the blocking and just the pull-in guards, I believe. I mean, it's hard for him to learn as a rookie, but I definitely think he will see him as a starter before the end of the year. Don't know when, but I think he'll be starting soon.
Yeah, you see the video of the lineman walking into the stadium and
Yeah,
like just how huge Ben Cleveland looks, even compared
with
to those other guys.
his boots with the Ravens on it. You see that
Oh
too?
yeah, that was pretty
Love it.
funny. That was pretty funny. I love it too. But thank you so much, Joker, for your super chat donation. We appreciate you. Austin Mingo in the house. What's up, Austin? Appreciate you for coming
Yo,
through. Let's see. I have my guy Raven Ron in the building as well. Says, "What up,
yo, Raven,
PRP?
man.
What's up,
What's up,
Raven
bro?
Ron? Thank you for coming through, man. We appreciate you." Lunch break
Can I
hot
give?
take in the building as well.
Yeah, I was about to
Big
bring this
shout out to
up. I was
them.
about to bring up Tyus
Yeah,
Bowser. Thank you,
Tyus
OVHG.
Bowser.
Appreciate that.
hmm Let's talk
What a
about it,
game he
man.
had.
Bowser. Yeah.
I mean, this defense does not create turnovers. What did Tyus Bowser do yesterday? Created a turnover in the
Mm,
in Ravens territory. Huge.
yeah.
Calais Campbell fell on it. That's what I like to see. I like to see how we rushed. I believe it was 3 or 4 on that final Hail Mary, and we got to the quarterback and sacked him.
Yeah.
And Bowser, he was smart because he didn't throw Dalton to the ground because that could have been a flag. Wrapped him
Right.
up. They called the whistle. Game over. I feel like we're underutilizing Tyus Bowser. I really do.
Yeah, I mean, he's capable of a lot of things, and I really like how, I mean, his tackling looks really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the play where I think it was like a third down and whatever, and Justin Fields, he felt the blitz, so he like takes it up the middle, and he's gonna like try to scramble up the middle for the first down. And Tyus Bowser is right there. He's probably like 7 or 8 yards away from him, squares him up, doesn't let him like make a move on him, juke him out or anything like that. And this is an outside linebacker we're talking about. Squares him up and just is able to make that tackle and make that play. So our offense can get back on the field. And then, like you said, of course, he had the 2 sacks, the forced fumble. He had himself a day. He had himself a
Mm-hmm.
day, and we
Game ball
cannot.
deserved.
Game ball definitely goes to Tyus Bowser. He is the certified MVP of yesterday. He even ended the game,
Yeah.
like you said. So
I,
yeah,
I definitely give a shout to somebody else too. I think it's obvious on this podcast, but there is a player who has taken criticism
mm,
and given it the biggest middle finger in the world, and that is
yeah,
number 6, Patrick Queen.
PQ.
Because what he's been doing, I mean, at 21, I believe, or I think he's 21 or 22, um,
hmm
is crazy. They obviously get Josh Bynes. He moves to the will position, and he's been excelling. His 6-yard tackle for loss yesterday
mm,
saves us 3 points. Because if they don't lose at 6 yards, they're going to get an easy field goal right there. But they pulled him back 6 yards and they missed it. And he read that play out absolutely beautifully. He shifted even before the ball was snapped, hit the hole, and just tackled him for a loss.
yeah,
And I just don't know like how some people can't see how he's progressing because like that right there, like it kind of goes just unnoticed, but he doesn't make that tackle, it's a whole different game. Like that 3 points means a whole lot more. So just a big shout out to
right,
Patrick Queen there.
yeah, definitely. I thought the linebacker play, like overall, was pretty solid yesterday. For the most
It's
part,
been a lot better. I mean they've been tackling, they've been wrapping up. I mean Josh
yeah.
Bynes literally is an ageless wonder.
Yeah, I mean, Josh Bynes. I was gonna say he had a clutch fourth down stop.
Yeah.
I think he stopped what was it, Montgomery in the backfield on like a direct snap,
Mm-hmm.
on fourth down, fourth and
Oh
short,
my
which
god, lowered the
was
shoulder. Yeah,
yeah,
love
hmm
that.
yeah.
Love that. Love that.
So big shout out to the linebackers. Definitely been playing better as of late, including our guy, friend of the show, Patrick Queen. We do have another super chat donation coming in from the Joker. Again,
Thank
thank
you.
you so
Thank
much,
you.
man, making it rain consistently. He says Roman
Yes.
is proving he does not know how to use wide receivers. We have all the firepower with Watkins and Bateman, Duvernay and Prochet, yet he won't get Bateman involved more.
I don't know how I feel about this. I thought Sammy Watkins had a pretty good game yesterday. I mean,
Yeah,
it wasn't going to be a big passing game because Huntley wasn't accurate on some of it. I mean, the Mark Andrews first down that was above his
no,
head. He had to make a
yeah,
one-handed catch. I saw fans didn't like that Patrick Ricard screen. That was actually executed beautifully. That goes for 15 yards if
yeah,
the pass is made.
on the money,
Um,
right?
But Bateman, like he got 2 pass interference calls yesterday. He's bringing
Yeah,
something that we haven't had for years.
yeah,
I
that
love
Torrey
that.
Smith effect, right? Yeah,
Man. And Duvernay showed up in the final drive too. But
he did.
I kinda agree that we aren't utilizing them to their full potential, but we're starting to see a little bit. But that's all on the receiving coaches.
I think we'll get to see more of what these guys have to offer in the coming weeks because I don't think that listen, and this is just PSA to all Ravens fans, the entire Rain gang. We are not done seeing the cover zero blitz. We're
Oh
not
no.
done seeing that. We're going to see
Talk
that
about it.
for the entire remainder of our schedule, probably.
Keep talking about it.
Um, yeah, so I think that like they're gonna draw up schemes to like get the ball out quick. So we're gonna see a lot of opportunities for yards after the catch, or what I like to call effort after the catch from a lot of our receivers, and we'll get to see who's who. Then the second half of this season, we're really gonna get to see what our receiving core is really made of, and I'm very excited to see that because we got a tough schedule coming ahead. So I
It's,
can definitely foresee us passing the football a lot.
I can't even
But
lie to you. Devin Duvernay has like shown. I think he's not kind of my sleeper for just the jump he's made. It's
mm,
actually crazy. Like just
yeah,
when he's caught upon, he makes the catch.
mm,
I
yeah,
clearly can't think of him dropping a pass. Knock on wood. This is probably gonna come back and screw me next week. But he just makes those catches, and I love it.
yeah.
I mean, he's
Now,
just underutilized.
real quick, and thank you so much again to Joker for your super chat
Thank you.
donation. But real quick, Alex, I wanted to ask you this question because you said that Tyus Bowser was the MVP, and I agreed. But
Yeah,
then you brought up Mark Andrews, and Mark Andrews had himself a game yesterday too. So between those two guys, who are you giving it to? Because Mark Andrews was clutch in a lot of ways.
I kind of want to give to Bowser still because the whole Mark Andrews, the interception was on him, but at the same
Hmm.
time he is whoever is at quarterback of the Ravens their security blanket because
Yeah.
he was making clutch catches, first downs, moving the chain. And I think about how that he didn't secure the pass and then he picked it off, and then
Hmm.
Bowser kind of forced the turnover. It's hard, but I think I'm gonna give it to Bowser. But
Okay.
Mark Andrews is having himself a year. I mean, he's a top 2 tight end right now.
Got you. Got you.
You
Okay, I
can't argue
respect
that.
that.
I think.
Yeah, I mean the way he's been playing, how clutch he's been, like you said, just a security blanket for whoever's starting at the quarterback position. He definitely deserves that top two spot right now. Our guy Gerald in the house says, "What up, PRP
Gerald,
gang? What's up, Gerald? How you doing, man? Let us know." Dewan 100 says Bowser all day deserves that MVP. Agree. Got you. All right, so let's actually go ahead and bring up our burning
let's
questions
do it.
segment here.
Let's
Let's
do it.
talk about, yeah, go ahead. You guys can start firing through your burning questions. And I'm going to start with the ones that we got from Instagram because those have been in there for a few hours now. Let me see. We got some new ones. Yep. All right. So this first one is going to come from our guy, Christopher Swain. Big shout out to
Okay.
Christopher Swain. Yeah, a longtime watcher of the show says, where will this defense end up this year? Top 15? So top half of the league, maybe? For me,
Bottom
I don't
half.
think so. I'm thinking bottom half only because of what the bottom half of our schedule looks like. We play against a
Yeah.
lot of teams who know us very well,
Yep.
who either know us very well for one or have a really good offense. So yeah,
I
I
think it's
think
time to
bottom
have a
half.
conversation about this defense. Unfortunately,
Hmm.
they played very well yesterday, but the struggle with this team is limiting big plays. And do you
Yeah.
know how bad it is for Ravens fans? 'Cause I saw it when Andy Dalton came in. A lot of Ravens fans got scared. I was one of them. I didn't want him
Yeah.
in. He knows this defense. He knows how to beat it, and he showed you yesterday. Um, and Wink caught himself a great game, except for about 3 or 4 plays. And that's the
Yeah.
problem with this defense. They have great game, great plays, and then just have these dumb plays where they just get beat. And just that
Yeah.
screen of Darnell Mooney, I just don't know how everybody missed it. Like,
Yeah.
and I think this defense is way too intricate and just way too complicated for the amount of youth on this defense too. I just
Yeah.
I think he's kind of setting our players up to lose sometimes too. I mean, leaving Westry 1-on-1 with an athletic sprinter. Come on now,
Yeah,
that sets us
that's
up
no
for failure.
good. That screams double move all day, and is to the house, and that's
Yeah,
exactly what happened. So, I mean, yeah, and it's funny we bring up the defense first. I think this is a good time to probably go ahead and bring up the clip that you sent or that you tweeted the other day. Yeah,
Yes.
I kind of wanted to
Yeah.
bring that up on
Hopefully
screen.
we don't get kicked off for copyright. Try to get a couple. Just the main point I think is like 20 seconds. I hope we don't get
Gotcha,
kicked
gotcha.
off.
That's cool. So let me see if I can pull this up for you guys here. Yes, indeed.
I will say is the defense. I know you only gave up the points you gave up today, but man, I mean, the zero blitz, no disguise, end of the game, try to hold them to a field goal. I just think they don't need to blitz as much as they do. We talked about in the pregame. They give up a lot of big plays and yards. And you're a running football team. So,
Okay,
play
you can pause right there just so we don't get kicked off.
these big plays.
That was the point.
Yeah.
So this is Bill Cowher, like a legendary head coach, kind of saying we don't need to blitz so much. He didn't get the whole cover zero.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I agree. And I disagree with what John Harbaugh said about that today because he addressed it in the media and he said
I
like
didn't watch
sometimes.
any of this, so this is all brand new information to me.
Yeah, I mean, he was asked about like, what do you think about the cover zero, the blitz call on 4th and 11 where they got burned for the touchdown? And he's like, I like the call for the blitz because, sometimes it's better for like a quick kill. You know what I mean? And I get it. You know what I mean? 4th and 11, you have a team's back up against the wall. There's nothing better. There's nothing that'll charge your team up more than getting home, getting a sack or, forcing a fumble or something like that. But listen, man, like you cannot just leave it one-on-one because you got these guys like Andy Dalton. He's not some young, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed quarterback who does not know what to do under duress. He can step up in the pocket and he can make a throw on one-on-one coverage. He knows where to go. He knows that cover zero blitz is coming. So he knows that everybody's going to be matched up one-on-one. All it takes is one double move and you can just give your guy a chance. That's what he did in touchdown. I don't get why Wink doesn't understand that because like this is going to burn us. Like, people talk about all the time. Yes, big plays will happen later in the game because defensive players they get tired. They get worn out and then they're more prone, they're more susceptible to these big plays. So if you know that, Wink Martindale, as a defensive coordinator, if you know that, why are you not offering any help to, like you said, Alex, to a Chris Westry, a second-year player, one-on-one on 4th and 11 with
He was
basically
unclaimed on waivers for a reason.
exactly.
I don't want to like try to bash a player, but I
Right.
see fans like I basically said #wink out yesterday, and I got ridiculed. I had people saying, "Oh, it's Westry's fault." At what point are people going to realize it's not the 11 players on defense sometimes? How about it's the one coach calling the plays? And I don't want to be that toxic fan, like calling for their heads and all, but like we're 32nd in the pass game. Are you cool with that? Is this like this is not Ravens football? Maybe the offense used to be 32nd and the defense was number 1 and we'd still make the playoffs.
Right.
But are you really cool with 32nd ranked pass defense?
Yeah. It's just not going to get it done. It's not going to get it done. And I think the late game play calling definitely needs to improve. Yep. I think on both sides of the football for sure. But definitely on defense because when our players do start to get more worn down and a little bit more tired, you have to give them the support that they need, especially in that secondary on that back end. You cannot allow big plays like that because we very well could have lost that game to the Chicago Bears yesterday. And right now we're looking at a 6-4 team. Yep. 6-4 is a whole lot different than 7-3. It just sounds different. It feels different. It's just
like 7-3 is like, okay, like
right.
I like it. 6-4, it's like, wait, if I lose, I'm 6-5. Oh shoot, hold up. Like
you're close to 500. Like that's not what we're looking for. So yeah, defense definitely needs to improve. But to answer your question and summing this all up, Christopher Swain, no, we don't think that the defense will finish in the top 15. More realistically, they'll probably finish in the bottom half. But yeah.
And then there's one more thing too. Like I think the Ravens have kind of gotten away from. I don't want to say our principles, but kind of the standards we are like our code of conduct. You have the code of conduct in like in elementary school, and what you followed. What the Ravens followed was just a great defense, like just who we were known as. We wouldn't give up a 100-yard rusher for like years, bro. They get 100 yards in the first quarter in the first half now. Like, where's that defensive identity went? Like, where's that punch you in the mouth? The same identity that the now New England Patriots have that Matt Judon even said he wants to be that hated defense. We were that team. We were that defense. Like growing up, nobody wanted to play our defense. Like, where's that gone? It sucks.
I have no idea where it's gone, man. And like the whole play like a Raven mentality, it's just this
Yeah.
doesn't seem like it's there anymore. We used to like rally to the football, gang tackle, but now it's just like whoever gets there gets there, and it's like, oh crap, he got there, but he didn't make the play. Let me try to get in there and finish it off, and then boom, next thing you know, touchdown. So it's like it really isn't the same intensity at all.
If I could, this defense is like trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers, because there's a lot of prima donnas on this defense. I just won't kind of go for a tackle. And they'll tweet about it more than start playing about it. I'm not going to name names, but thankfully one of them turned it around this week because he was getting cooked the past couple of weeks. So I'll leave it there.
Yeah. All right. So the next question is going to come from Kareem the Don 10. This is also from the Purple Rain Podcast Instagram account. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. Also, make sure you like this video as well because it helps us out a whole bunch. Let's see. So Kareem says, hey guys, so of course I'm happy we won, but what can we do with this O-line? It's been atrocious.
Okay. I mean, well, Makari is back.
Yeah.
Getting healthier. Definitely getting healthier. Unfortunately, can't do anything about the left tackle. I think it's going to be Villy.
Yeah.
The only thing you kind of talk about is left guard, I think. Maybe Cleveland.
Yeah, and I think the best thing that you could hope for at this point in the season is that, Ben Cleveland starts to, progress, get better, and he gets a bigger role in the offense on the line. And then also just like those guys just stay healthy. So Makari stays healthy, Villanueva stays healthy, of course Zeitler as well, and Bozeman, because those guys have been playing particularly well for the most part. If they can just, an offensive line it's a position group where they need reps, they need practice with each other. They need to build that chemistry on that line. So if they can get through these next, I say 3, 4, maybe 5 weeks relatively healthy, I think that should improve the offensive line naturally. So, it's just going to take some time. But like you said, I also think that, getting a big, mountain of a man in Ben Cleveland on that left guard spot, I think that is going to make for a lot more running plays to that left side. I can see even Zeitler pulling over, that sort of thing. And, just kind of trying to hammer the run game that way, like we saw yesterday with, them getting Nick Boyle involved in the blocking and that sort of thing. So I think we'll probably go more heavy on the run in the second half of the season, which is going to rely heavily on our O-line. But, like I said, naturally, it's just going to take some time for them to kind of like mesh together.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. I like that. I mean, we also have these guys on the practice squad, but it's like, where can they really help us out on the line? So you don't know, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right. Did you have any questions over there before we get to the live chat?
No, I do not. I think the live chat can just throw them one in now.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think I saw one up here that I wanted to bring up from my guy Chris Reed. Chris Reed, thank you so much. Says,
thank you.
Top teams in the AFC, and who out of the bunch do you think has the best chance at the bowl?
Chiefs.
Really? You think they're back?
I'm not going to say back. I'm just going to say they just have the experience I know their team has. And I don't want to count them out because if that defense gets even just some type of swagger, and as long as Daniel Sorensen isn't on the field, their defense can make a play. I mean, Chris Jones had 3 sacks yesterday?
I think so.
I mean, Frank Clark was getting there.
They were getting after Dak.
L'Jarius Sneed, 2 picks. Ward, I think, had a pick too. We needed that defense to just be a laughingstock, and unfortunately, if they get a little bit of swagger, like even just average, they're scary.
Yeah.
I mean, if Derrick Henry comes back, I'd say the Titans too. I don't know what's up with the Bills. I don't even know what's up with the Colts. Like, the AFC is just very weird.
Colts look good. I mean, if you had to give a top 3 right now in the AFC, who are you going?
Chiefs.
Okay.
Ravens. Even with all the injuries. And either the Colts or Titans.
Okay. I can feel that.
The Bills got to be up there too. It's just, I don't know. I mean, you can't really, it's hard to not put the Ravens in there because we had a bad loss to the Dolphins, but bro, like we're winning with all these players missing.
Yeah.
Like, who are the Bills? You lost 41-15 at home. Can you imagine if the Ravens lost 41-15 at home?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where's the outrage for Josh Allen? Like, is he the new NFL Golden Boy?
I don't know. They're kind of flying under the radar right now. Nobody's really talking about them because they have been losing. But for me, I'm probably going to go. I don't know if I want to put the Chiefs at that top spot. I think right now I'd honestly go with. I think I'd go with, and this is gonna sound kind of crazy, but I might go with New England. I might go with
I
New
could
England
see
right
that.
now. They got the longest win streak in the NFL right now. The
I could
defense
see
is
that.
playing pretty much lights out. Mac Jones is not making mistakes, and he's only getting better. And of course, Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick. So
Yeah,
they're a tough out for anybody. They're a tough out
I
for
could see
anyone. They're
that.
currently leading that division too. So I mean, I might go New England first, and then after that, I would probably say the Colts. I think they're playing better football than the Ravens right now. I just do. And then I'd probably put the Ravens third. And
The
then
Colts are just they're just weird with me because like that just Jonathan Taylor's just running that offense, and
well,
that's like
I mean, Wentz doesn't look bad though.
he's just doing what he has to do. I got to give it to him. He's just making the right plays. Same thing Mac Jones is doing, making the right plays.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, but I got to tip my hat to Wentz because it's just like he had so much doubt. Even I doubted him coming into the season. He's dealt with injuries in this season, and yet he's still finding ways to make plays and win games for that football team. And of course, like you said, Jonathan Taylor is a beast
Yeah,
in itself. Like 5 touchdowns yesterday, that's ridiculous. But
that could have been J.K. Dobbins this year. So like, don't
it
sit here
could
and
have
tell me like
been.
a running back can't make that. Like I'm just gonna be like
Yeah,
I'm gonna say J.K. would have been that level up, but he would have been right there with him.
he'd have been right
So
there
that's
for sure,
just
for sure. But yeah, that's who I would say. And then best chances to make the Super Bowl. I think I would agree with you when I say Chiefs, even though they're not in
yeah.
my top 3 right now. But Chiefs, man, if they make it to the dance, then
If they get
they're
hot at
they're
the right
probably going to
time.
go far. Yeah, yeah. But we do have another super chat donation. This one coming in from our guy Gerald,
G
none
Money,
other than
thank you,
G Money per use, man, pulling up from deep. Thank you so much, man, for donating to episode 85
thank
of the
you.
Purple Rain podcast. Says, do you see the Ravens winning the division? So yeah, I mean, currently the Ravens are still up top, the AFC North.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, I don't want to say sitting pretty because we're not.
No,
We're sitting kind of ugly right
I'm not
now.
comfortable. I'm
Yeah,
at 7-3. I'm not comfortable whatsoever because I feel
yeah,
like I feel like there's a collapse coming somewhere. I think it's coming up soon. I don't want it to be, but our schedule, like the NFL, literally did us so dirty.
yeah,
Browns, Steelers, Browns.
yeah.
The Browns they play the Ravens. Bye week Ravens. I want to
That
know how
is
that's fair.
insane.
How is that fair?
That is
What?
insane. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be a tough stretch. You guys know we do not play another team with a losing record for the rest of the season.
Talk about it.
We don't like it's going to be a rough patch from here on out. So we're really gonna see what this team is made of with all the injuries and everything that's been going on up until this point in the season. Like we said, this is the soap opera season, and it seems like the season is really, really heating up. Like I said last week, we are now getting officially into the thick of it. So we'll see if we win this division, Gerald. I mean, if I'm making my predictions right here, right now, I want to say, yeah, I think that we can. I think we can take care of business at home against Cleveland. A beat up Baker Mayfield against a rested Lamar Jackson. I'm taking Lamar Jackson and the Ravens at home in that one. We might drop one to the Steelers if their defense comes back healthy.
Yeah.
And they're flying all over the place. And then it's going to be crucial that second game with the Browns as well. But you will
Yes.
see. I think we can
If
win the division though.
if we can take 2 out of the 3 against the Browns, Steelers, Browns, I
Yeah,
think we're in a good spot. I
yeah.
really do.
Because I
I
mean,
mean,
Steelers lost last night and they tied last week, so
I'm
they're
thinking
not in
further
the
ahead. The
driver's seat.
Packers. Packers
Yeah,
lost COVID Kirk.
yeah,
I mean, Aaron Rodgers isn't 100%. He's nowhere near 100% with his. He said he's worse than a turf toe. Um,
yeah,
I don't know if Aaron Jones will be back for their game. I'm not too sure. I mean, the Rams, I don't know who the Rams are still. I think that
yeah,
could be a L. I mean, I think if we can beat the Browns twice and the Steelers once and then beat the Bengals, I think we're in a really good spot. Just drop one of
yeah.
those games, I think we'll be in a really good spot. I think we just got to win these division games more than more than anything
Got you. I
because
got you.
it's going to be tough and the Browns right now are they're kind of capitulating if I could say that. I mean, Baker Mayfield's calling out the fans. Um, Jarvis Landry's going to play, but he's hurt. I don't know what's going on with them. I'm just worried about their running game a lot. Chubb scares me.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nick Chubb is always a scary sight. They may be getting Kareem Hunt back too this week, so got to be on the lookout for that as well. But thank you so much again, Gerald, for your super chat donation. We appreciate you each and every time. We got about 70 people watching live right now. Big shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you guys go ahead and like this video before you keep watching, because it helps us out a ton. You guys know that. Spooky J says, if you are Lamar, given the Ravens' lack of will to surround him with proven talent, do you resign with the Ravens? I mean, if I'm Lamar Jackson, yes, I resign with the Ravens because of, I don't want to say, it's not just because of like the memories and everything that he's been through with the team up until this point, but I feel like just the team around him, so the roster, the rest of the players, they kind of all rally around him, and like he feeds off of that, and he's got really good friends on the team, i.e. Hollywood Brown. I know he's really cool with Mark Andrews. He's even grown cooler. I mean, cooler with Sammy Watkins. We've seen that as well. So I mean, I think that he does want to be a Raven like for life. And I know that he felt slighted even when he was drafted. He felt slighted by the Ravens because remember, we did not draft him with our first pick. Yeah.
We
drafted back Hayden Hurst, and we traded back into the first round to pick up Lamar Jackson. So I could understand, if you're of the school of thought that, hey, maybe Lamar after this year, he may, have it out, for out of Baltimore, and he might go somewhere else. But I think that he wants to be a Raven for life. Like he said, he wants a Super Bowl. He wants the Ravens to get a Super Bowl out of him. I think he wants to deliver that promise. So I think he does re-sign with the Ravens.
I think signing Mark Andrews was a big piece to kind of keeping him there, because we have Hollywood for another 3 more years. Oh, no, 2 more years, I believe. This is 3rd year. So 2 more years after this. Have Bateman for 4 more years after this. So he's going to have his squad with him for at least 2 more years after this.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll be with us next year too, because is next year his final year? Yeah. This is his 4th year. So next year's his 5th year because he exercised that. If I'm Lamar, I'm like, bro, can you protect me? I think that's just the only thing we really haven't done yet is actually protect him. We had it with Marshall Yanda, but since then, I mean, last year was shaky. This year is even shakier.
I mean, but it's not like it's not all on the not coaching staff, but the front office, because there were a lot of injuries, like Stanley, they never really predicted that this would be happening with him.
Yeah.
Situation with Orlando Brown, him not wanting to slide back over and play right tackle and all these things, like they kind of have tried to put pieces around him, and it looked good for a while. Even post Marshall Yanda, it looked like, okay, this line is shaping up to be something, before the season started. We thought it would be, but obviously there were injuries here and there, things start to fall apart, and here we are. But as I'm saying, like I said, I don't think it's been like a blatant, disregard for, surrounding Lamar Jackson with talent. I don't think it's been that, because they went out and they got receivers for him,
I think
Rashad Bateman and Hollywood Brown.
Talented as hell. I really think it's talent. Like this right here is the best it's been in years.
Yeah.
Like you went from Crabtree, John Brown, I love him, Willie Snead, Chris Moore, I mean, to Marquise Brown, Sammy Watkins, Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay. Bro, you know where those guys are now? Crabtree's retired. John Brown's on the Jaguars practice squad, and Willie Snead's on the Carolina Panthers practice squad. Like, and that's who he made the playoffs with his first year.
Yeah.
It just goes to show like kind of what we've done to help him out with weapons. I mean, and I think we can call them weapons because they showed up when they had to with a backup quarterback and did it.
Yeah. Let's see. Jonathan Washington Jr. here says Ravens are going to draft a safety in the first round instead of getting themselves the O lineman they desperately need. That would kill me. That would. It's just like it wouldn't make any sense. I think the first pick in this draft definitely does need to be O lineman, somewhere on the O line, preferably the tackle position. Just see if we can get kind of that guy. You know what I mean, at tackle. But and that's another thing. It's going to be hard because we're always one of those teams where like I predict us to make the playoffs this season. I don't as of right now, I don't really predict us winning the Super Bowl only because of all the injuries we've sustained and everything that we've been through up to this point.
Prove us wrong, please.
Yeah, please prove us wrong. But like, if we do make the playoffs and say we have a wild card or divisional round exit, we're not going to have the best draft pick in the first round, right? So, with that being said, like, there's actually not a lot of need for quarterback right now. There's more need for fat boys, linemen. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And that's what this draft is going to be heavy of. And I think it's kind of going to be top heavy with the best ones, and we might miss out on some of those guys. So
I mean, we can talk about. I mean, Jacksonville. They're probably going to draft a lineman.
Right.
I mean, you got to protect Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
I mean, I'm thinking about the bad teams right now. The Lions, they might need they do need a quarterback. I'm just trying to think of more bad teams. I don't know what the Texans are going to do. Oh, no, they traded their pick. I forgot. Or do they have this year's? They have this year's, I think. I'm not too sure with the Texans.
Yeah, I can't remember, but they're in so much turmoil, man. I would hate to be a Texans fan right now.
Yeah, and they beat the Titans yesterday. Give them that.
Yeah.
But I just think it's kind of unrealistic to expect a Super Bowl from this team right now because just everything we've gone through. Like, if we can make it, I'll be over the moon. But like, I'm kind of just hoping to win another playoff game, get in there and win it, get hot at the right time.
Right, we got to get hot at the right time. You're absolutely right, but at the same time, this team we're struggling with teams we're supposed to be taking care of, like handling business with, and the margin of error against bad teams is obviously a lot bigger than the margin of error against like bona fide playoff teams. So when we get to the playoffs, that margin of error is going to be a lot smaller. So missing guys like J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards and Marcus Peters and Deshaun Elliott and L.J. Ford, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on, as you guys know. Not having those guys in when it comes playoff times, that's going to shrink that margin of error and what we're allowed to get away with. We're not going to be able to get away with. Yeah,
come back.
Exactly. They're not going to let us just get back
into
the game.
I don't know how the Colts did. I don't know how the Colts let us come back from that. I honestly don't know what happened. But if you're playing against the Chiefs and you go down big against them, we went down 2 touchdowns. Yeah. I still don't know how we came back. I got to give all the credit to. I'll give credit to Greg Roman there because he caught him. That's his best game he's ever caught as a Ravens offensive coordinator. Yeah. I think
on top of the fact that Lamar Jackson took over in that second half.
Right. It doesn't hurt having the neutralizer.
Right.
But just outside of that, the teams in the AFC playoff, like, let's say you're playing against the Bills. You're down 3 scores to them. You really think you're coming back?
It's tough sledding.
The Patriots.
Yeah.
They ran all over us last year.
Oh, yeah. With no problems at all. But, yeah. So, I think we will go ahead and leave our burning questions segment there for the night. Thank you guys so much for chiming in.
It was a healthy conversation. Very healthy.
Very healthy, very productive conversation. We always appreciate that. For sure. All right. Now, just kind of moving on from the game yesterday, the Bears game, and just kind of, I don't want to say like looking ahead. Like I said, we've got Browns, Steelers, Browns,
Packers,
and then
Bengals,
Packers,
Rams, Steelers. That's
Lord have mercy. It's going to be tough.
Those are all playoff games, man. Like, compared to last year, like we played Browns, Cowboys, Giants, Jaguars, Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really bad. Like that was you got to beat those teams.
Yeah.
If you get hot, let's say we go 2-1 against the Browns and the Steelers. That's 3 games. Got one more, but we go on a tear. We beat Bengals, Rams, Steelers like to finish the season. That right there, I'm like, okay, wait, this team's getting hot at the right time. If all the starters are playing, like that's what you need to end the season on a winning streak.
Yeah.
I don't care if we have the division wrapped up. Got to play your starters that last game because you need that momentum. We saw what happened against the Titans. I don't even want a first round bye. I really don't. If we get one,
we don't need it, nor do we deserve it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. You gotta get hot at the right time.
Absolutely right about that. But the way it's looking in the AFC, hey, we might find ourselves with the number 1 seed. You never know. We get hot a little bit, because all the other teams.
You had that bye week. Give us a first round pick. You can have that bye week. I don't want. Give us a pick. I don't want it.
Give us a pick. I feel you. All right, let's see a couple of what you guys are saying down here in the chat. before we go ahead and wrap for the evening. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Competitor. Real quick, make sure you guys go ahead and like the video as well and subscribe to the channel if you are new here. Let's see, Jonathan Washington Jr. here says, if I'm EDC, unless we make a deep playoff run or win the Super Bowl, I'm looking to get rid of Harbaugh and find an offensive-minded head coach. But us Ravens fans are not ready for that conversation. Well, guess what, Jonathan? We are ready for that conversation. So let's get it started here. What do you think?
Ready. I mean, it's really sad that I didn't like Harbaugh, but I really do like him now. I just can't. What I can fault him for is not putting blame on his coordinators, because these are the dudes that are kind of just stabbing you in the back, and you're kind of just like taking on.
You're going to bat for these guys, yeah.
Yeah. What has Wink done? I mean, like, besides kind of just trying to throw games, like sometimes people would try to throw, like yesterday. I used to be a huge Wink fan. I'm just not anymore. And I'm tired of fans coming at people who kind of have a different opinion than them and just say, oh, you're overreacting. Oh, you're wrong. Like, you can criticize a team and still be a fan of it, in case you didn't know.
Yeah. That's how it works. That's what being a true fan, a realistic fan is called. But yeah, I mean, finding a more offensive minded head coach, I really want to agree with that, but at the same time, I feel like the head coach of the Ravens needs balance, because what we're known for, what we have traditionalized ourselves off of is defense, hard-nosed defense, that is, and then also hard-nosed running the football. Those are our core values.
Look who we had at running back.
Yeah,
all the time. Priest Holmes, Jamal Lewis, Willis McGahee, LaRon McClain, Ray Rice.
Yeah.
Hell, Justin Forsett when he came in here.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the running back position in Baltimore has been one of the most coveted positions in Baltimore. I think probably the top 3 most coveted positions in Baltimore got to be running back, linebacker, and probably tight end, I would say, if you ask me. But yeah, I mean, an offensive minded head coach, that does sound nice. I would just like for our offensive coordinator to kind of let our offense loose a little bit more.
Yes, talk about it, please.
Yeah, like, I think it more so starts with Greg Roman and the schemes he draws up and what he's able to kind of, how he can move his chess pieces on the board. I think that needs to get better when it comes to the passing game. Running game, it looks good. It looks good, especially when he's got blockers, but passing game needs to be better.
He won Assistant Coach of the Year in 2019. Why is he not a head coach yet? He won interviews. Why isn't he a head coach?
He wants to stay here and just ruin the Ravens. No, I'm just kidding.
But I don't know. He could be complacent, but do you want to talk about the other games this week before we get out of here? We have about 10 minutes, 10, 15.
Yeah.
Cool. So started with, Thursday night game. That was the blowout with the Patriots and Falcons. I mean, I wasn't expecting too much from that. No. Ravens Bears, talked about that. Packers Vikings.
Yeah, like you said, COVID Kirk got it done against A-Rod and them boys. So it's just
COVID A-Rod.
A-Rod. Yeah, I don't know what to think about. I think that's more so is one of those one-off games for me.
Yeah.
Divisional matchup, and anybody could take those. I think the Packers shouldn't be, slighted at all for this loss. I'm not really putting too much stock into it. You?
Yeah. I'm not, except the fact that Justin Jefferson, he should have let us up for more. He's so good. Yeah. Absolutely just different. Colts Bills 41-15 Colts. Jonathan Taylor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns. Insane.
Yeah. Crazy. I mean, what do we make of the Bills? Are the Bills falling off? I mean, they were the golden, like you said, the golden boys of the AFC. I think last year and this year, everybody loved the Bills. Everybody fell in love with Josh Allen. He's got a big arm. Bills Mafia. The defense is flying all over the place. But when it comes down to it, teams know what they want to do. Just like, teams know what the Ravens want to do roughly. But it's kind of like the complete opposite. The Bills do not run the football. They don't run the football. Who's their running back, actually?
Singletary, I believe.
Singletary, right.
Yeah.
I mean, just right there. You know what I mean? Like Singletary and who else? Isn't it like Zach Moss?
Zach Moss.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Like it's just, and they don't run the football. Like they're kind of like the Eagles.
Yeah. And speaking of the Eagles,
them.
we'll go into it. Speaking of the Eagles, 40-29 win over the Saints.
Mm.
Jalen Hurts took ankles yesterday. Jalen Hurts reminded me of Lamar 2019 yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's like him. I'm saying what I saw, he was just taking ankles. And it wasn't.
Man, it's funny you said. I mean, I actually did not get a chance to catch that game, so I gotta watch it.
Bro,
I gotta watch that.
He took one of the Saints players' ankles so bad, it was Lamar versus the Niners-esque. It was bad.
Not the K'Wan Williams.
It was bad.
Oh,
it was really bad. I think the game I was most surprised about yesterday, Browns-Lions 13-10. You had Tim Boyle starting at quarterback, and you could barely beat them. Which is why I'm kind of scared for the Browns now. 13-10 against the Lions.
Yeah. The Lions, though, they play everybody close, don't they? They played us close. They played the Steelers close. Hell, they tied with the Steelers. They played the Browns close. Like, they're not a bad football team. They just do not pull out victories at the end of games. They just don't.
No.
Yeah, wow. It's crazy, and it's gotta hurt. It's gotta hurt so bad if you're a Detroit Lions fan, because like you're right there. The season's a complete wash, but like a lot of the games you lost, you really could have won. You were right there. You were in those games.
That was the 2015 Ravens. Most of the games we lost were by a possession. It was so close every game. We only got blown out. I think I know the Seahawks blew us out that year. A couple other games too, but the Washington football team 27-21 over the Cam Newton-led Panthers.
2 wins in a row. Yeah.
Heineke is looking good.
Yeah. Heineke, he's definitely looking looking a little bit better. He's letting it rip more, which I do like, not thinking about it as much, just letting the ball go. You can see that's benefiting guys like Terry McLaurin a lot. So, I do like what they have going on in Washington. I'll continue to be rooting for them. I think I saw somebody earlier in the chat say something about, thoughts on Cam Newton and, what do you have, like 3 touchdowns yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Cam Newton I love what he's doing. I love what he's doing, man, because he literally said it before the season started. He was like, I don't think that there's 32 quarterbacks better than me. And he's proving himself right now as we speak. Yes, they lost yesterday, but he went out there and he did his part, 3 touchdowns, like for a guy who was, like he said, eating cereal 2 weeks ago, on the couch, but he's in here scoring touchdowns now. So big shout out to Cam Newton.
So the biggest surprise of the weekend, Texans 22, Titans 13. Wow.
Tannehill, how many picks?
A lot.
Yeah.
Damn, look good.
A lot. And this is something I was saying about the Titans, man. Like, people were saying, oh, the Titans, without Derrick Henry, they beat who? The Rams, and they beat who else, right? They beat one other good team.
I forget who they beat last week. It was a good win. Really good win.
It was another good win. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, Colts. I mean, they still might beat the Colts, right?
No, that wasn't last week. That was a couple weeks ago.
That was a couple, okay. But regardless, I mean, they have been, and Yolanda says, Tannehill threw 4 picks. Yikes. But yeah, I told her Saints. They beat the Saints.
Okay.
And then shout out to J Prime 235 for letting us know that. But yeah, man, like I was telling people, Ryan Tannehill, he's not going to be that guy when it comes down to like him being the guy, having to be the guy who's going to win them the game on the line. We saw it last year in the wild card matchup. He's not the guy to get it done. He's not the guy who's going to make those consistent throws to get it done. Hell, you can even look back to the 2019 playoff game where they, walked all over us, or Derrick Henry walked all over us. Yeah. Ryan Tannehill, he only had how many pass attempts? Not a lot at all.
But he made them because we committed to the run and he just beat us over the top.
Yeah.
That's just the luxury you have when you're running all over a team. They got to play the run and you can just beat them in the air.
Right. But when teams know that you cannot just run the football all over them, they can key in on the pass game a little bit more. And when they do that, Ryan Tannehill starts to make more mistakes. And I think that's what happened yesterday. And I think that is probably going to be the trend going forward. And I think the Titans are going to start to take a little bit of a dip here in the AFC standings. But
hot take Sutton. Hot take Sutton.
Heard
These
it here
next two
first.
games we can get by them real quick. Niners 30, Jaguars 10. Jimmy G had himself a very good game. I like what I saw from their 5-5. Had a really good win against the Rams. I said the Rams were gonna blow them out, dude. The Niners that showed out that game. Deebo Samuel is an
He's
absolute
different.
weapon. A weapon.
He is different. He is Deebo Samuel is Devin Duvernay on steroids, literally.
Utilize him more, please.
Yeah, please.
And the next one, Dolphins 24 against the Joe Flacco-led Jets 17. And Flacco put up some good numbers. Flacco, I was proud of him. He did what he had to do. Came up short. Anything you got to say about that one? I mean, it's a pretty simple game.
I mean, no, not really. I mean, Flacco, you kind of know what he's going to come in and do. Like, he's not going to look terrible. He's not going to look amazing either. But, it's Flacco. Always love to see him do well, though.
Yeah. Bengals 32, Raiders 13. Jamar Chase touchdown.
Again.
Bengals just doing their thing.
Bengals doing their thing, man. Like, that's the one team where it's like, okay, they're really scary, right?
They are.
Because what
they blew us out.
They blew us out. It was our worst loss this season. And I am not looking forward to seeing them again because I know it's going to be probably even tougher. Yeah, for sure. But
Chiefs 19, Cowboys 9. Tyler Huntley threw for more passing yards than Dak Prescott did. Some people's MVP candidates, not mine.
Yeah, and hey, Tyler Huntley got sacked 6 times. How many times did Dak go down? I know they were getting after him too, but
they were getting after him. Yeah.
But Tyler Huntley to go down 6 times, still throw for more passing yards than Dak. That is something. I'm not gonna say. But yeah, man, the Chiefs, like you said, or like I was saying earlier, I think they might be back. Man. It's just they are a team, like you said, they need to play with a swagger. I feel like they need motivation. At this point, this is like their 3rd or 4th year being like that team in the league, where it's like you kind of expect them to not only make the playoffs, but probably come out their conference, go to the
like
Super
any
Bowl.
team in the NBA that has LeBron James, kind of.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Like they're gonna have their right.
Back.
Exactly. They're gonna have their struggles, but they're gonna be right in the mix, right in the conversation when it's all said and done. So, okay.
Michael Parsons for the Cowboys is an absolute animal. I just want to get that out of the way too. Cardinals
Absolutely.
23, Seahawks 13. I think this is Russell Wilson's final year with the Seahawks. He does not look like the same Russell Wilson. I think him and Pete Carroll, I think the relationship is shattered. I think it's time for him to move on. As much as I hate to say it, I could see Russ in black and yellow next year.
Ooh, that is a hot take. You heard it here first from Simply AS10. Hopefully we can revisit this because that would be crazy. That'd be insane to see Russell Wilson in a black and yellow uniform playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That would be insane.
Or orange and blue going to the team he absolutely demolished in the Super Bowl, the Broncos, because they locked up Courtland Sutton, locked up Tim Patrick. They got weapons. Noah Fant. I think it could be between that. But the Seahawks aren't the same Seahawks. Like, the last quarterback to win a game this year and last year in the Seahawks stadium was Colt McCoy.
Oh, well,
Russell Wilson hasn't won at home this year.
That's a shame. That is a shame, man. Everybody going out to CenturyLink Field, just hoping to see Seahawks win.
Yeah,
haven't seen it. Not with Russell Wilson at the home. Nope. But I see somebody in here. We'll go ahead and end it with this NFL process. Why would they go right back to an old QB though? So going from Ben Roethlisberger to a Russell Wilson. What do you think about that?
I'm not too sure. Maybe a transition period. You could draft a young quarterback, learn from Russell Wilson. I mean, I really could see it. I think he brings something to their offense. I think
that Ben doesn't have anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Russell Wilson can still extend the play, and that's what you're really looking for at the end of the day. He can do that to a higher level than Ben Roethlisberger can do right now. So I think that's what you get from getting a Russell Wilson, in place of a Ben Roethlisberger there.
And speaking of the Steelers, our final game was last night. Chargers 41, Steelers 37. One of my friends was actually at the game. Sent me pictures of SoFi. Dude, SoFi is beautiful. Like, I need to go there. What a stadium. What a stadium.
That and the Legion. Definitely got to visit those for sure.
You saw Legion has like they'll play like stuff outside on like, and it's like next to a highway. You see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Bro, what? I don't know what
Doesn't
they're
make
doing
any
there.
sense. They just have the game like just playing like, you know, right on the highway. Like I think I made a tweet a while back. I was like, collision repair shops in Vegas are probably salivating over the fact that they have that big ass like
Yes,
jumbotron
literally.
over the highway. It's like, oh yeah, endless accidents. But yeah, I
Herbie did his
think we're
thing.
gonna.
Eckler did his thing too last night. Just get out of the way.
He did. Eckler definitely did have a game himself too. But yeah, I think we're gonna go ahead and leave it there tonight for this episode of PRP. Thank you guys so
Thank
much
you.
for coming through to this episode. Make sure you like this video before you leave. Like the video. Also
Yep.
subscribe to the channel if you are
Yes.
new, because we will be coming out with more Ravens content in the future. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram as well at the Purple Rain Podcast, where you can, you know, you'll get basically like more personalized interactions from us. You'll get to, you know, interact with the channel more. Like today we did the burning questions, and we had, you know, people who submitted questions to the Instagram. They came up. So make sure you follow us on Instagram, because we are a good follow on there too.
Please.
And just to round it all out, you can find my guy Simply AS10 once again on Twitter at Simply AS10 and on Instagram at simplyas10.prod. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sutton Def. Again, thank you guys so much for joining this episode of PRP, episode 85. And thank you guys so much for supporting us for 1 year.
Thank you. Crazy.
Like I said, we are 1 year old. It's crazy. We're 1 year in. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys so much. I'm going to let my guy Alex take us out.
And the struggle we went through our first year, we started off a win after the Colts, then we just lost. Then we just got hit by the Titans, and then the Rona hit us. But thankfully, you know, we're still here. So thank you for coming through the 85th episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. And as always, stay positive, test negative. Don't forget.
And never, ever, ever forget to call God. We're going to catch you guys in the next one.